All right. The record button is hit. Oh, Zoom, please be nice to me and my wonderful guest. Please be nice to me and my wonderful guest. You like to be wonky on me here and there. All right. So, welcome to Universal Grounding, kids. I have a wonderful guest. As per usual, that's how I start off every single show because it's the absolute truth. And I love my guest to pieces. All right, so I made no bones about it that the third book of the year for me is called Ascension. And somewhere along the line, after I had a crazy day at work, I wound up coming home to read the whole entire thing after I left off at a certain point. And I will still say it again, please go and buy the book. Please go and buy the book because it will talk to you if you are somebody that's very supernatural. My guest is a part of that cast, and she's the very first member of that team to join me. So, thank you very much, Dion Garcia of Ascension. I appreciate you to pieces, hon. All right, so she's a surfer, she's ascended, she has holistic training. We are going to get into all this right now. So, welcome to Universal Grounding and Black Lions Domain. Hun, how are you today?
Oh my goodness. Thank you. Thank you so much for the Zoom prayer. I never heard one of those, but I'm definitely going to keep that practice for myself. And
Oh,
two, for the great introduction. Thank you so much. I'm so happy to
yo,
be here.
yo, welcome. I always do that Zoom prayer. Let me start off of how I got to it. All right, kids. So I've been using Zoom now since almost, I think, June or July of last year. My dear friend Jasso Land, who's actually a writer, came on with me and decided, okay, we need a way to talk. Skype ain't a good way to go about it. I have Zoom. Why not you actually get your own thing and let's make it happen? I said, okay, why not? And then after a couple of tries, I said, oh my God, oh my God, this thing is crazy. But I actually explained what happened to us on that actual episode. So I'll link that episode so you can go and have a good laugh. Kids. So, all right, Dion, let's hit the viewers or my audience with your background, please.
Yeah, of course. Well, just to get started off, I like to think of myself as a nice, simple island girl. Grew up on the island of Maui. Now I live on the Big Island. I liken the Big Island to like the wild, wild west of America. It's still
Ooh,
very wild. There's lots of like tribal people. There's lots of different people around, and we all have this deep desire to share the island. This deep desire to share this connection with the land and the ocean, and so my background has really kind of shaped from that. So most of my background is in holistic body work, so massage therapy, holistic health coaching, and recently sexual empowerment and flow training with the Flow Research Collective. So I've been kind of dabbling in a lot of things, but most of it is all related to flow and juiciness and having a good time doing it all.
ooh, baby, you actually talk my language in multiple fronts, more ways than one. And anybody that's been listening to my podcast knows that I have certain that Carl Jung or many other scientists would refer to as the flow state. And as I read
Ooh,
Ascension, every single chapter, I felt more in flow. I don't know whose chapter more I was in flow with, but I know for certain that every single chapter had me in the state of flow. So
I
you are
love it.
very much talking my language. So let's get into every single thing that you mentioned. Let's start with actual therapy, hun. How did
Mhm.
that come into your life overall?
Yeah, I feel like I'm very blessed that I have this need and this insatiable desire to always transform myself, and I think I've had this desire since I was a child. So, I had a beautiful childhood, but like many people with beautiful childhoods, there's some shadowness to that, right? There's always some kind of
Mhm.
some dark night of the soul that needs to bring us up and that needs to bring awareness to what needs to change in our society, in our community. And for me, that was this family lineage of sexual abuse. And so as a young child, I had, been molested by my grandfather, and for many years that had gone on. And eventually, something had changed inside of me when I realized like I had to stop this. And so I kind of took that role as a young child to like become the protector of my family, of my younger sisters. And so from a very early age, I was initiated into this sexual empowerment, just to say no, just to say, hey, no, this is my body, that is not okay. And so from that, of course, as an adolescent, I was like, I don't know how to deal with this. I had gone through so many negative coping mechanisms, drinking, having too much sex, not knowing how to utilize my sexual energy that had gotten waken up so fast and so early. So I had gone on this really beautiful and just this unique way of healing myself. And so that began with massage therapy, led me through wanting to heal my body through food, wanting to heal my body image through learning what my sensuality was like, and then eventually leading me to the water. And so now I'm like trying to incorporate what I'm learning from the water and what I've been learning through all these different holistic practices and how to really create a lifestyle that is medicine. And so that's where I am now.
Oh, I remember reading about that to some degree or another in the book. Now that I heard your voice on it, and might be very
I wrote a lot about, just, yeah, where my journey came from in my chapter, but also like what came from that. Right. So maybe
Mhm.
it was easily kind of skipped over because there was so much juiciness that I did talk about in my chapter.
Oh, and it was very juicy. Mommies and daddies, you're gonna probably want to get your kids out of the room for a couple of seconds because I got something to say to her that ain't gonna be mommy and daddy approved. So I'm warning you now, you got 10 seconds to get your kids out the room. And after all is said and done, then you could bring the kids back forward. All right, so 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4. You got 4 more seconds, mommies and daddies. 4, 3, 2, 1. All right, mommies and daddies, you've been warned. I'm not warning you again until I actually say what I have to say to her. You've been warned. All right, so in this book, she talks about sexuality a little bit. And the way that she actually recovered, how can I describe it? I actually did tell her in private, but I want to kind of quote myself, but make it somewhat funny. Oh, okay. I remember this episode of Inside the Actor Studio, and they had the cast of Family Guy. So the quote Stewie Griffin, I actually had a boner in my pants, kids, when I actually heard about her rise with the sexuality of comfort. I said, "Whoa, baby, that is a great way to go about that." All right, so mommies and daddies, you can bring the kids back in now. All is safe. All right, hon. So you are dealing with holistics. So what is it like on all fronts?
Yes. So the term holistic, when I think of that word, means that it's addressing all aspects of life, right? So as a holistic healer or practitioner, when I work with women or even, men in terms of like massage therapy, I ask them what their diet is like. I ask them what their, morning and evening rituals are like. I look at what kind of things they're intaking. So media, books, all of this other stuff. So there's all of these other intricate aspects, right, that create our energy, that create what our current state of being is. And so what I like to do is approach sexuality in a holistic way also. So what is our sexuality in context of, how can we use our sexuality to create or to be a better lover or to be a better father or mother or sister or, friend? How can we use our sexuality to become better writers? And so that is my take on using sexuality in a holistic way for health and for
Oh,
other things.
I was impressed by how you used yours. I said, "Oh, oh, this is juicy." Not only did she take tragedy out of sex, but she actually turned it into a power. I knew I had to
Yes.
talk to you right there and then. I said, "Ooh, I have to talk to her. I don't know how I'm going to do it, but I'm going to make it happen, Captain. I'm going to make that happen." Oh man! So how is it you actually do it in your own right? Because I understand that you do it not just by way of helping others, but how
Right.
has it like really strengthened you as a general being?
Yes, that's a great question. Well, coming from many years of victimhood, coming from anxiety and depression, coming from feeling like you're not enough or feeling like it's not safe to express sexuality. I used to be someone who really hid and just didn't want to be seen. And so realizing that my sexuality was so connected to just being a person on this planet, not feeling safe to create or not feeling safe to be seen was limiting my ability to just be. And so I had to really see that my sexuality was a key piece in that, not only for healthy relationships and to feel good in my body, but also business. Like, you can't hide in a closet and expect your business to boom, or you know what I mean? Like, there are all these things that women and men right now don't realize, that our sexuality is really key points to how we're being and how we're experiencing the world around us.
Oh, hun, let me tell you something. All right, mommies and daddies, I'm sorry, you're gonna have to get your kids out of the room again. I'm sorry because we're actually talking some stuff that your kids probably will not be understanding, and I got some stuff that I need to get off my chest. And maybe your kids are not welcome back, mommies and daddies. I don't know. I'll let you know if things are copa. So another countdown. You got to get them out the room. I'm sorry. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. All right. So mommies and daddies, you've been warned for the second time to get your kids out the room. I got things to say. All right. So I kind of deal with sexual trouble where I live. I am not comfortable in my skin as far as sexuality is concerned. So I am very celibate, and I try to use my sexuality to just be channeled into other means. I do not have a spouse. I don't have any other means to really release. And when I seldomly do release, I'm just like, "Ugh, zombie." Oh man, oh man, oh man. But your book is your chapter in Ascension kind of helped me to channel it into a better free fall, if you want to use that term, and just become a better person overall.
Hey, that is so good to hear. That makes me so happy to hear. But also, I just want to backtrack a little bit and just say there's no judgment, and I'm so grateful and so appreciative that you're willing to come out and say that. And you're not alone. There are so many men out there and women out there who have no idea what their bodies are like. They have no idea which buttons to press. They don't even know where the pee hole is, or what the G spot is. Like,
Ah,
there are so many people out there who have no idea what amazing pleasure and magic we have inside of our bodies, and how we can use that to amp up everything: performance, our ability to connect with people, and our ability to create. Like, no, this is just the beginning for you. I'm so excited. I have
oh
references. I'll
man.
definitely write them out for you. Some books for you to read.
Oh, kids, she's speaking my language. A friend of ours by the name of Janet is starting to mentor me, and her co-author uh for this course is named Sandra, and she's starting to get to know me better. Their Her book, meaning Sandra, I'm starting to actually get the whole entire series that she's done. And in my defense, I wound up buying the whole entire series, and I told her something. Let me see, kids. Yes, that I more so read than I watch the telly, to quote myself. And my goal for the year, one of the goals of the year, is to read more books than I watch TV or movies. So I will gladly add on whatever books you actually recommend, hon. Let me
Yeah,
tell
of
you right
course.
now.
I think you'll enjoy them. I mean, most of the friends that we have given these books to are very happy.
Oh,
There's still a difference between reading them and then practicing, right? So I might have to hold you accountable and make sure that you're actually reading and implementing, or else there's no point.
oh, I'm actually holding myself accountable for every single book that I'm done reading. I'm bragging about it on no, Facebook or social media or even YouTube. Well, I can post that there. So far, let me remind you kids out there that I have not written, read 5 books so far. All right, so at number 1 is the book that I'm featured in called They Are Magic. Number 2, it is May Cause Miracles by Gabby Bernstein. Number 3 is Ascension by Janet Brent. Surfer Hun overhead. The Dragon Hun who I'm getting ready to have on this Sunday. Karen Therese, I believe her name is correctly. David Vine and Whisper Romeo. I believe that's the whole entire cast. Or maybe I'm missing one person. I think I'm missing one person.
I think you had someone else previously on, right? I
Let
forget who
me.
was.
Uh-huh. Thank goodness I actually got Messenger, kids. It helps. All right. So, matter of fact, silver flying everywhere. Hi ho, silver and away. Let's see. This is why mobile devices rock.
They are so handy to have.
Okay. Dear Amazon, who I work for, please show me my digital orders of the last year. All right. The absolute cast of this book. Oh, there we go. There we go. There we go. I listed everybody on this book except for one person. Hello, Aleka Rose of the Magic Family and Ascension. I'm sorry, hon. We're gonna talk about you too. We're gonna talk about you too. I'm sorry. Please forgive me. You are getting ready to come on after, oh no, right before Janet. You are the night before Janet. Okay, so kids, the rest of the Ascension cast has agreed to come on my show except for Romeo, but that's okay. I still love her to pieces regardless. So up next, right now, as it's slated, is Karen Therese, the Dragon Hunt.
Oh, I'm
She's
excited for that conversation. She's a powerhouse.
Oh yeah, she is. I just started to actually listen to her stuff, and I made it up to uh, making mirror work. I said,
Mhm.
"Oh my gosh, she is so badass!" Oh man, and I did not notice, but she's 6 foot tall.
Wow.
She actually said that on her recording for day 1 of the mirror course. I said, "Excuse me." This is my legit reaction. Ah, you're 6 foot tall. No way. No way. But I can feel it. I can feel it in the essence. She's definitely 6 foot tall.
Oh yeah, she takes up the space. I mean,
Woo,
she's got to. I
woo.
resonate with that dragon energy very much. Yeah, I know you do too.
Oh, yes, I do. More ways than one.
Mhm.
Okay, so to hype up Karen, if she's listening to this. All right, my history with dragons go back as far as me being a child. The very first thing my memory actually has been triggered is The Last Dragon by Barry Gordy. And unbeknownst to me, that movie would play such a role in my life. Oh my God. I did not know this, but it was my first exposure to the flow state.
Very cool. I like how that connects.
I did not know this until 2017. I wound up actually seeing Dragon Ball Super, and that's another form of the flow state.
Hmm.
But I myself didn't obtain this overall feeling or sensation until 2019,
Mm.
November 2019. And then I started looking into it because I felt like I was suffering symptoms, not suffering, but living symptoms. And I said, okay, I feel a little bit light as air. I
Mm.
feel more powered. I'm not really cranky. I'm more so calm. I'm more so at peace. What is this? It feels like Ultra Instinct. And then I looked it up during lunch. I said, excuse me, how in God's name did I actually become like Son Goku from Dragon Ball right now? And then I went into my own meditative state. I said, oh, okay. Okay, I understand myself now.
Mm.
So it was the willingness to fail, be scared,
Mm.
and go beyond my limits. That's how I unlocked it. And in the last year or so, I have be, I think I've obtained a higher form of the flow.
Oh, and is this through writing, or can I ask through different, what kind of, when do you feel like you're in the most flow?
Oh man, when I'm most in flow, I would say it's more so when I'm doing what I love. But I think in recent times, this flow state, this higher sense of flow, maybe somebody named Miyoko may have came up with a name with that I think I already had for it called Flowtastic, which is my business.
Oh, I love
Um, yeah, so I actually had a let me see, been going through some crazy things with Amazon. I'm kind of wanting my own thing now. I needed a name for my overall podcast, this health improvement thing I want to do and more. So a dear friend who I've only known for months passed away, and unbeknownst to me, she was gone when I finally came up with.
that.
And let me see, this thing is more so triggered when I just let go and I focus on what good I have or want completely. I'm
Mm.
I'm completely focused on it. I don't let nothing sweat me. And then it just comes like water. I become like Bruce Lee says, as water or complete air. And my heart is like beaming, a radiant light, if I could describe it.
Mm.
And it awes me. Like, excuse me, what? I'm not really focusing on anything else. Sometimes I really have to say to myself, I'm living this.
Mhm.
I really am. Like, oh, wow. I did not come up with the actual name for this higher sense of flow state until after I would say last week or the week before. And I said,
Mm.
oh, okay. It's not only my business name now, it's this higher sense of the flow state.
I love it.
Flowtastic. And I want the world to actually be in this state.
Yes, I agree completely. You might really enjoy the Flow Research Collective. So that's who I've been training with to learn more about flow science. I think you
Mhm.
might really be turned on by all of that Stephen talks about. If have you heard of his books, The Rise of Superman, or anything like that?
Oh, I think I've heard of it. I think I've heard of it because I was researching the flow state when I first obtained it, like I said.
Yeah.
And I think I heard of a gentleman named Steven somewhere.
Yes.
And I said, oh, okay, this makes more sense. This absolutely is great. But unfortunately, at that time, I wasn't really into reading books heavy. So I had to wait until 2020 to really start reading books. and I can say it out loud. I'm a bookworm. I love it more than television. So I'm gladly gonna try and deal with Stephen or
Oh,
whomever he
I'll
is.
add those books to your list then.
All right, that sounds fun. Let's see. Speaking of books, as I keep on saying, kids, she was part of this Ascension cast. How did you meet Jan Love or Jan Brent?
Yes. Oh man, she is. I feel like she's an angel in disguise. I feel like before I met her, I was really praying, to my angels, to my guides, to help me connect with another, specifically Asian woman, hopefully Filipino, which she is, someone that I feel like I could connect my roots with, but someone who could help me birth a book. I've never been part of a co-author book before, so just being part of Ascension was such a wonderful, amazing experience. And now, like you, getting to work with her and her program to kind of help be guided into making my own solo book. And I was just so inspired by all of her posts and just the way that she writes and shows up. She's so real, so authentic, so fun. And yeah, I just wanted to be a part of her group. I just wanted to hang out with her and hang out with the people she hangs with because she's just doing amazing big things.
Oh God. I already knew Jan by way of a common mentor named Blair. Hi, Blair. If you're truly listening to this, I always have to do that because sometimes Blair can be very busy. So, Jan was in this book series called She is Magic. I loved Jan's overall vibration. And then when I found out that Ascension was out, I said, ain't this the same Jen that was in She is Magic? And then I looked her up and I said, oh yes, yes, somebody outside of Blair Hayes on a supernatural front actually is doing this thing about ascensions and what. Nah, I said, I gotta read this because David Vine, who's part of the cast, he was in They Are Magic with me and he was actually talking about it. I said, "Ooh, okay, I see what you're doing, sir. You're a very occupied guy, and not only that, you surround yourself with very high vibrational people, and that's where Zach Shiloh wants to be, kids." I
Hmm.
keep on
Hmm.
saying that more than a straight man should, and I will keep on saying that forever. Oh man, oh man. I love high vibrational people, and Jan Brent fits that to the T. If I had to describe her to folks, I say she's Blair Hayes on a Filipino tip, but with a more powerful soul to her. Like
Hmm.
there's something about Jan that I cannot touch. And that's not because she's got a man and a child physically. No, I'm talking about on an actual human scale. I There's something about it I can't touch. And that's fine by me. That's fine by me. I love her energy overall. And I would love to obtain that sereneness that she has
Hmm.
for
Hmm.
myself. But I'm not comparing myself because Jazz got her own thing, I got my own thing, and I'm just happy and grateful to be learning under her. And I can announce this, I believe I already did in intentions. Somewhere down the line, I will be in Ascension. I
Yes.
will be in there because I've talked to Jan. She wants my story of the flow state published.
Mm.
Exactly. And I keep on putting that sucker off. And when she came along, I said, oh, I gotta do this. I gotta finish off the flow state now. I got a
Mhm.
reason to do it. Yes. I got a reason to finish off the flow state and put it out to the world.
Yes. Well, I can't wait to read it. I would love to. What can I ask a little bit more about that?
Me getting into the actual flow state or the writing of it.
Yeah, yeah. Well, I mean, what were you wanting to write about, or what? Yeah, what does your flow state submission entail? Your
Uh,
story
my
entail?
my flow state is actually me talking about my overall being as a spiritual person.
Mm-hmm.
I It really started when I was a child. I remember just running around in a schoolyard by myself, And I swear I felt my father's father. I never met
Mhm.
him, but I think that was something that would lead to me becoming more spiritually awakened. I was
Mhm.
I was raised as a Christian by two loving parents. I eventually I would start questioning my Christianity because of certain things that were happening in our world,
Mhm.
especially revolving around the LBGTQs.
Mhm. Mhm.
I said, "Oh God, I'm questioning my faith now because this don't sound like something that I would approve of."
Mhm. Mhm.
So let's fast forward from 2002 when I would started questioning the LBGTQs front. Um, I would say 4 years later, I met this beautiful plus size girl by the name of Melody, who would go on to become my first fiance, Mel Mel. I call her for short. She kissed me about a month into our relationship. I was in college. I came over to rest, and after that kiss, I knew I took a nap, and I started seeing things. I said,
Mm.
"Mm, mm, mm." I think I was tossing and turning. I think I know myself. Uh, yeah, I started seeing things like this guy painting a fence and a woman going nah, 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 or something along the lines of that, and it felt real.
Mm.
That person that was doing the fence was me. The nah, 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 nah was Mel Mel. I said, "Excuse me, that's us. Get out of it." And then she pulled me aside and she said, "Yes, that's your memory." I said, "Wow." I thought I was having an acid trip.
Oh
It
God.
was us. It was us. And over time, that was the truth.
Wow.
And how does this apply to the flow state? Well, I think it's more stronger when you have lived other lifetimes and you finally come to grips with who and what you are.
Mm.
Throughout those years or lifetimes, I tried to run away. I tried to
Mm.
run away from who I was and who I was supposed to be. But this year, or excuse me, 2019, I lost my second fiance who loved me for who and what I was.
Mm.
And I said, you know what? I'm going to start making peace with who and what I am. I
Mm.
am a past lifer. I am a person. I can live. Excuse me. And I'm going to live. And lo and behold, Mel Mel showed up in my life again. Her father, I believe, connected with me and gave me his blessing to have her on my show
Mm.
because I heard this song called "Don't You Dare" by a Canadian singer slash actress by the name of Alex Jones. I'm not Jones Johnson, not
Mhm.
Jones, kids. Alex Jones is a plus size man who's got a big fat mouth. Alex Johnson, she is more so known for being in this show called Instant Star.
Mm.
And when I think of Instant Star, I think of Mel Mel. And I heard this song, then another song called 2 a.m. And I said, okay, God, what's going on here?
Mhm.
And then I heard something say, go to Mel Mel. Go to Mel Mel. And I said, okay, I'll go to Mel Mel. I'll find out what's going on. And then her brother and sister saw me in a local CVS. We talked for a bit, and then I returned to social media on May 4th last year. Then I contacted Mel Mel. We started getting close again to some degrees or another. And she came on my show, and we both came out right there and then. Especially me. I said, I'm not going any further. I need to actually be honest. I need to start attracting people like me. And
Mm.
I said it like this. My name is Zachary Shiloh, and I am a past lifer, to be short. And since then, the world started to open up.
Mm,
I said, it feels pretty good to be me. I love my
mhm,
life now.
mhm,
But I go into a little bit more detail about things in this chapter that I don't know what really spurred it on.
mm,
I knew that I had to really start owning who I am, what I am. I only was able to do but so much for Blair
mm,
on Black Lion's Roar, which was my story from internet to where I am now.
mm.
Somewhere along the lines, I couldn't mention the flow state because I didn't know what her audience is like. I know that she mainly caters to females, and I didn't really know if going that far was all right. I
Mm.
knew there was sensitivities that couldn't really be touched, so I said, "All right, I'm not gonna go there." But then Janet showed up. I said,
Mhm.
"Ooh, okay. Here's an opportunity to go hardcore because I'm
Yes.
seeing everybody else in Ascension talk about their things like raw and no cut." I said, "Okay, I'm definitely joining you, hun, somewhere down the line. I may not have the finances right now to do it, but somewhere at some point, Jan, I'm joining your team." And then I made my intentions known, and somewhere I will be on Ascension. I'm not
Yes.
giving that dream up, not for 1 second. All right. So, kids, with that said, what else is on the docket? Oh, okay. I think we touched upon everything. The only things now are three. What can I do for you going forward, Surfer Hunt?
Oh man, well, just having the opportunity to chat with you and connect with your, your audience and your wonderful people is such a gift. And so, I mean, just if anything, keep sharing your flow state. I love, maybe someday we can do a collaborative thing on flow state because that's something that's really alive for me right now, especially with my new business venture going in. I know before our call started, I mentioned it to you, but that has a massive grounding in what I'm about to launch. So it could be really fun for us to dive deeper into the
Ooh.
flow state together.
Oh, I would love that. You got the sense of flow. I feel it off of you. It's just like I'm saying to myself, yeah, I am definitely in her camp. Definitely. Oh man. So all right, I'll definitely keep in the state of flow. And I know you're listening, Linda Carducci, and this is your way of saying be grounded. I am definitely universally grounded right now, spiritual mommy, more ways than one. One. And I progressed. Okay, your hopes for the future, love, are
My hopes for the future are, is that what you just said?
yes.
Yes. Oh man, my hope for the future is that for everybody who is listening can be a little more inspired to question what their sexuality means to them and how can they incorporate or become aware of the flow state that happens when you really are in tune with your sexuality and like you were saying, in tune with who you really are and who you came here to be, beyond your fears, beyond your ego. And to
Ooh.
come into that space, it's time, it's now.
Oh, yes, it is. And I keep on saying it out there that my intention is, well, good to actually bring everybody that I can into the flow state. Because when you're in the flow, you're on the go. And then when you got that all going for you, it's a very fun world to live in. And sadly, enough people are not in the flow state because they are so worried about stuff like politicians, royals,
Mhm.
coronavirus, and everything else. And
Mhm.
anybody that listens to my show knows that that is a no flow zone, and I don't like that on my show. Not by any
No.
means. No. That's why I keep on talking love and positivity and everything I do, even if it sounds like I'm venting. There is a sense of love in what I talk about. People say it starts with a P and it ends with Sean. passion. That's what I have. All right. So the only thing left, hun, is if you don't have them right now, can I bother you within the next week or a month for three people to join me on this show?
Oh, of course. Yeah, I definitely will come up with a few names and I'll send them to you.
Ooh, cool. All right. So, with that said, would you like to plug anything before we stop the recording?
Yes, if you haven't already gotten Ascension, please do support that. There's so many amazing, powerful stories in there. And then, if you are curious about deepening your sexuality, if you are a woman listening to this, I have a 7 days to squirting challenge live on my website. And that is something that is an invitation for you to transform your sexuality, start using it and making it your superpower, and start getting into the flow state every day through your body. So, if you're ready for
Woo!
that, find me.
Woo! Woo. Oh, I'm just fanning myself right now. Oh boy, if I actually was a female, I definitely would join the course. But at the same point in time, I said something along the lines of, "Oh, if you actually were doing that, I would still join it anyway."
Maybe
Probably.
someday soon I'll come out one for men, so men can understand how to really awaken, their connection to the Yoni temple. So maybe
Ooh,
that'll be something I'll do in the future. I'll keep you posted.
yes, 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 yes. That's what I'm talking about. We need to actually own our sexualities more ways than one. All right, kids. With that said, I thank Surfer Hun Dion Garcia for coming on my show. Please, kids, just get in line with her and everybody in the Ascension. We need more lovings in this world, and to do so, we're all gonna get ourselves into the flow state. I keep on saying it because the absolute truth. We don't need the politicians, the coronavirus, and whatever else. We need each other. That's the bottom line because Zachary, Shiloh, Watts of Their Magic says so. And thank you, everybody. I love you to pieces. Goodbye.